My name is Mark from Ontario, Canada, and you are watching RobMotive on YouTube.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, today I wanted to show you the new and maybe improved Tacoma. Now, this is my Tacoma, and what I did recently, as the title states, I had it lowered. Now, for all you clickbait claimers out there, I really did have it lowered. So let's take a look and I'll show you what I mean, and then afterwards I'm going to show you what a block and spacer lift is off of the truck. So we've got it outside here. It's all nice and cleaned up. Just got washed. The tires are all slopped and all that stuff. By the way, I used that spray-on tire stuff. It works fantastically. But you guys can see right now the truck is back to stock height. I took the blocks out of the back, or I had them taken out of the back, and then I had the spacers taken out of the front. This is the stance of the truck right now. When I say lowered, I mean back to factory height, of course. Let's go around, take a look at this side. Might give you a little, see a spot I missed right there. Might give you a little better view over here. You guys can see, I see another spot I missed. Oh man, or maybe I just touched it after I was done. I'm not sure. But I think it looks pretty good. You'll notice the side steps are gone because they're going to be staying with me. They did come on this truck. Go ahead and take a look, a little look from the side front, I guess. So that's what the truck looks like right now without the lift on it. And I still think it looks pretty good. This Barcelona red, I must admit, when I first got the truck, it was not one of my favorites. But I gotta say, it has grown on me since I've had it, and it is now one of my favorites. I think it looks really good. But this is the truck back to stock. This is what it's gonna look like going to the dealership. Nothing wrong with this truck. Once I trade it, I'll let you guys know where I went. If anybody out there is looking for a gently used truck, and you can see the way it's been treated on the channel, let me know. But anyway, that's what she looks like right now. Now, what did we do? Well, two things. I'll start with the wheels and tires. Of course, I had those replaced. I talked about that in a different video. I had the larger wheels and tires on it before, the fuel anses and the Didi Ridge grapplers. Now we have an MB wheel, which I believe is a Discount Tire brand. And then the tire itself looks like it's called Entrada AT Provider. And it is, hopefully that shows up, it's a 265/70 R16. So we went from the Didi Ridge grapplers, which were, let's see here, these were a 275, you can see right here, a 275/60 R20, down to what I just showed you out there on the truck right now. So that's how it sits, that's how it's gonna go. Pretty much, there's a couple other things I need to do, but that's the way it's gonna go. Now, what was the lift? Well, let's go over here and take a look. This is a block and spacer lift. So, for anybody who doesn't know, and I admit, when I first went on this adventure, I had no idea what a block and spacer lift was. I'd never had one before, so I really didn't know. So for you guys out there who are like me, that you're looking to have your truck lifted, but you don't really know that much about it, well, here is what a block and spacer lift looks like. These, of course, are the spacers. They go on the front of the truck. And then we have the longer U-bolts. You need longer U-bolts because the spacers that go above the leaf springs in the back take up more room. So obviously you have to have a longer spacer back there if you're going to put these in. And they simply fit, if I remember, let's see, something like that, with the top being over the leaf spring and then this being on top of the leaf spring, I believe. Actually, no, this sits underneath the leaf spring and then they bolt down underneath through the bracketry that's on the truck. And they're not very complicated, really. These are, they look like cast blocks to me. They're quite heavy. And I will say, adding a lift to the truck, is going to add some weight to the truck. I was surprised when they handed me the box how much this actually weighs. So you are going to add a little bit of weight to the truck, if that matters to you. It's probably, I'm guessing 15, 20 pounds, something like that. Just something to be aware of. You know, every little bit you add to the truck gives that 4 or 6 cylinder, or you might have a 4-cylinder motor, more to haul around. So just something to kind of be aware of. Now, one other thing I want to talk about a little bit is the difference in ride quality. You know, I didn't have the truck very long before I put the lift on. So after it was done, and I did a lift and then the fuel, wheels, and tires that are over here at the same time. So I didn't really experience the lift without the more aggressive tires. And I kind of thought the lift made the ride a little bit firmer, a little bit rougher, if you will. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. I was wrong. It's not the wheels and tires that cause the problem, or the lift that causes the problem, or the change. It's not really a problem. But it's not the lift that causes that. It really is the tire setup. Now, why do I say that? Well, I changed out, as I mentioned, the fuel, wheels, and tires before I had the lift removed. So I was running on different, less aggressive tires, and again, they're the ones that you see on the truck there right now. And that roughness, that bumpiness went away. I still had the lift on the truck, but that stuff all went away. Now, since then, as I just showed you, I've had the lift removed, and it's gotten, if it's gotten any smoother, it is just slightly. I don't know if I can really notice a difference at all without the lift on it. I don't think so. So, in the end, it was not the lift that caused the rougher ride, if you will, because a lot of people have asked me that. If you put a lift on the truck, is it gonna give you a harsher ride? And the answer is no. It doesn't give you a harsher ride. It's the tires that you put on, which makes perfect sense. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you need to be aware that if you go with a more aggressive tire, like the Nitto Ridge Grapplers, which are awesome tires, I love them, you're going to give up a little bit of ride quality. You're gonna have a firmer, harder ride, if that makes any sense. And you'll notice the difference. So if you do that, just beware that you're going to give that up, and you're not going to have the same ride that you had before. Now, lastly, I'll mention, you know, would I do it again? I get asked that question occasionally as well. You know, since you did the lift and it changed the ride quality of the truck, would you do it again? And the answer for me is absolutely, because I wanted the aesthetic benefit, I guess, of having a lift. You know, I'm not a big off-roader, at least not with this truck. So it wasn't really about clearance or anything for me. And it wasn't about 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, which, by the way, you get a lot of comments like that. Oh, it's a 2-wheel drive truck. Why would you lift it? Because I wanted to. I mean, you know, so yeah, I would do it again because I like the way the truck looks. I had wanted a lifted truck for years. I'd never had one until I lifted this Tacoma, and it looks awesome. And I think because of the looks of the Tacoma, oh, that bug fly at me actually, because of the looks of the Tacoma, adding a lift to it just enhances the awesomeness of it. I think that the Tacoma is built for a lift, in my opinion. Doesn't mean you have to do it, and there's nothing wrong with leaving it stock and just cruising around the way it is. The final thing I'll mention, because I talked about this in the video, are the running boards or the side steps. Again, I've taken them off. I've never had this truck without them, so this is my first experience with them on this particular truck with this particular setup. And I gotta say, it is a little bit of a step up. It depends on your height. I mean, if you're over probably 6'2", they're probably just in your way at normal stock height. But if you're under 6 foot tall, I'm 5'9.5", then they are a little bit helpful. Sometimes they're in the way, sometimes they aren't. It's kind of marginal. For aesthetic purposes, I do like the looks of them. I like the looks of the truck equally well without them. I think the truck looks nice and sleek without those side steps, but you can see the frame underneath. If you guys noticed that. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it kind of looks unfinished to me without the steps on the side. I don't know if that's a big deal. It doesn't really bother me that much, but I know there are some of you out there that it might. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, go over what I've done with the truck, show you guys what a block and spacer lift actually looks like, and show you my newly lowered truck. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you guys think block and spacer lifts are any good? Let me know. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.